Welcome to the Voice of Women podcast with the purpose to empower women and disrupt the gender gap. I am your host, Priya Kandula. It's almost the end of March, and March is Women's History Month. So the question that arises is, what about a Men's History Month? I was super curious. So I went online and did some digging and research. And this is what I found. Unanimously, all the blogs and all the websites say, why do we need a Men's History Month when all of the rest of the days are celebrated for men? There is no denying that men had more rights than women in the past. And as March comes to an end, all the women achievers and their accomplishments are going to be lost in the pages of history, maybe until next year, March of next year. For example, the following rights were intentionally prohibited for women at some point of time in US history, be it voting, owning property, their marriage, or even being a jury member or studying law, just to name a few. Women were able to vote in the US in the year 1920. In India, it was 1947. And there are so many countries out there where women started to be able to vote only in the 1950s, 60s, and some even the 70s. According to an article by ThoughtCo and similar articles online, for a woman to own a property, it was a slow process from the 1700s to the 1900s. A woman had to be married and was only conditionally allowed to own property. And if it was a family with two daughters, they had to be married to inherit land. And the most interesting part is even after the 1900s, where women could own property independently, it was not until the 1970s that women could actually own a credit card independently. Till then, they needed their husband to sign on it to be able to own a credit card. Women were not even allowed to be financially independent until the late 20th century. Although women have more rights today than what they had in history, there is no denying that there is still some male dominance today. And that is why it is necessary to uplift each other and acknowledge the achievements of women which have been in the past and in the present. What I'm trying to get at is representation matters. I'm not trying to divide and rule, but the point of this podcast is to say that we all have some unconscious biases inside of us, and it takes a conscious society to acknowledge them and work towards removing them. I hope you have enjoyed this podcast. And if you did find value from it, I would love for you to share it with your friends and family. I am truly grateful to you for taking the time to listen, learn, and share today. Please do share it with your friends and family if you got any value from it. Stay tuned for more stories, insights, and tools to empower each other. Let's break the glass ceiling together.